Hey everybody, Chris Bond 21 here, and welcome to the, I guess this is the sister channel I've made now for my real channel. So, most of you might have come here from the Chris Bond Reviews channel, and if you've been paying attention to the channel for the past couple of months, it's mostly been about 200 plus videos, it feels like, of Kingdom Hearts Let's Play. Well, I figured if I wanted to continue doing Let's Plays, I don't really want to put them on the main channel anymore. It really is kind of backing up the current video selection list, and so if I ever get back to reviews, which I'm hoping to do at some point in the near future, wink wink, hint hint, I don't want it to be thrown into the mix of part 1, part 2 of a Let's Play, and then there's a review thrown in there. So the separate channel, I'm sure I've made announcements in some sort of an update thing on the channel or my Twitter thing that telling you to come to the sister channel here, which at the current time of this recording, I don't know what it's called, but hey, it's got a name because it's been posted up to this channel, so it's clearly there now. So yeah, I did a Kingdom Hearts playthrough. I did all the Kingdom Hearts games except the 2 that weren't available on consoles. And Kingdom Hearts 3, obviously, I think we'll have to wait a bit before I go and do that. I don't want to get too much into spoiler territory for why I'm not doing that right away, but there's been rumors of DLC that might continue bits of the story, and so I feel like we should probably let that resonate with everybody for a little bit longer. Even though I beat the game relatively fast and I 100%ed it relatively fast, I don't really want to run back into it and start Let's Playing it. I want to sit with it a bit more and see what the DLC is, and if the DLC is going to be extra character stuff, that might be helpful. So it's something to think about maybe down the road. But I wanted to do something else in the meantime. Another game that I was really interested in doing was Final Fantasy IX. For those of you that came from the main channel, you may remember I did a sort of Let's Revisit thing when I was still in the midst of whether or not I wanted to do Let's Plays or not, and I seem to be having a pretty fun time with them myself, so I figured we should stick with another one. So rather than do the Let's Revisit of another Final Fantasy game, I figured, what the hell, start off the sister channel with the Let's Play of Final Fantasy IX, which is actually my favorite Final Fantasy out of all of them. It is my first Final Fantasy, so I am a little biased, but in hindsight, I still view it as one of the stronger entries in the franchise, and it's definitely one of the last really good ones before we started hitting like 13 and all that crap that followed afterwards. So kind of good to be back in old school nostalgia territory. That's pretty damn good. So we're actually on, if it's gonna start fading out there, forget it does that. Can I move past this? No, I think I'm gonna have to just wait till it cycles through. It's not that long, but besides, I'm still talking anyway. So we're on the PS4. That's why we've got the 2 little sidebars, which make my job a lot easier. I won't have to crop anything in the editing process, so that's pretty cool. I was gonna do this on the PS1 copy, but unfortunately, my copy of the PS1 version of Final Fantasy IX doesn't work anymore. I get to about the 6th hour of the first disc, and it just won't load anymore. I, honest to God, don't know what happened. There's no scratches on the disc. It just won't load the assets for the next thing. I can hear the music, but I can't move, and I can't do anything, and I don't think I'm able to move, and I just can't see it. It's just gone. So yeah, my PS1 copy is dead. But I have it, and I bought it loads of different times. I have it on the PS1, obviously. I have it on the PS3. I bought it on the Vita. I bought it on the PSP. I bought it on the PS4. Actually bought the game at 4 in the morning when they announced that it was on the PS4. That's how excited I was. I have it on my phone. I love Final Fantasy IX. It is really one of my favorite Final Fantasies. I know 7 gets a lot of the hype and praise of being the best PS1 Final Fantasy game. Obviously, being the first 3D one, it's really good. And there's been a lot of questions about why 8 doesn't get the rounds of remakes and ports like this did, because this is obviously, this is sort of an enhanced version, I guess you could say. There's some added features that I'm going to go over really fast when we get control of the main character, but it's nothing that I'm going to be taking active part in. It's basically ways to make the game easy for those people that don't want to sit and play it like a real RPG. It's that usual excuse of we know some people have jobs and lives and they don't want to sit with a game for 25 hours and level up or grind. And I don't technically agree with some of the additions they add. So for example, I'll spoil one of them now. There's a cheat that you can activate that basically makes you hit one-hit kills, or it can turn off the random encounters. And I don't think that's the right way to do it. Final Fantasy XII, the Zodiac Age that came out a year or 2 ago, that was actually really good. They had an ability to let you speed up the game, which I thought was great for the random battles, and I actually played the hell out of that just because that feature was so intuitive, and I loved it because it didn't make it easier, it just made it less time consuming. It was the same thing you'd be doing if it was slow time, it just that much faster. So I like that addition. So yeah, there's not really anything new to this game on the PS4. The textures have been up-resed a bit to look a little bit more sharper than they would have on the PS1. That's really it. There's nothing that's been added or that was deleted and put back in. It's just these cheat things that they've inserted to make the game a little bit easier. In regards to how we're going to be dividing up the playthrough, I've gone through a list of how I'm going to divvy it all up. Hopefully it all comes to fruition. In regards to random encounters, going to be a little bit different than what I've done in the past. Obviously, this is a RPG from the olden days, which means that you have to run around environments and get into random battles. What I'm probably going to end up doing is, and I'll let it cycle through one more time. Oh, no, that's just going back to, wait, is this showing footage? Oh, no, I'm about to say weird. Anyway, I'm hitting the thing and it's still moving. What I'm probably going to end up doing is I will show you maybe 1 or 2 battles from each area just to get you an idea of what the monsters look like in each area. And unless it's a plot critical fight, like a boss fight or something that's story related, which basically means it has to be a boss fight, I'm going to skip it most likely. So I'll show 1 or 2 fights, but I don't want to drag down the videos with this. I don't know if there's a way to speed up the game on this one. I don't necessarily remember if that's a cheat. I'll have to see when I pause the game. If there is a speed up thing, maybe I'll leave them in. If there isn't, I'm probably going to chop them out. So I'm probably going to only talk for some of the random encounters that I'll leave in the video, and then I'll leave the rest alone. So I've yammered on for about 6 minutes, so it's time to get started. Also, fun fact for those of you that came from the Kingdom Hearts playthrough, you might have noticed that as we got further into that playthrough, I had less of a job to do in terms of the storytelling ability. So for example, you might remember in Kingdom Hearts 1 I had a little bit of text that I had to read. In Chain of Memories I had to read a lot of text, and then after that I basically only had a handful of text bubbles pop up every once in a while. I'm really excited because this whole game is completely text. There is no voice acting whatsoever, and a good chunk of these characters have never had voices in any future installment. I think Zidane and Kuja are probably the only 2 that have had voices in Dissidia. Everybody else has never been given a voice. Well, Vivi was in Kingdom Hearts, but I don't really count that because he had like 3 lines. And I think he was voiced by a girl. So I'm going to try my best to put on voices for some of the characters. I'm sorry if my ability to give all the characters different voices is lax. I'm not that talented, but I will try my best where I can. So again, remembered on for about 7, so let's get started here. So, new game. So we're going to get control of our character here. Also, can I just say that I love the airship designs in Final Fantasy IX. I just like the concept of putting like a ship with like a steampunk kind of like propeller system. It's really cool. It's just really cool. The best airship designs are in this game. Sure is dark. Guess nobody's here yet. Alright, basic controls. Some things have obviously been updated a little bit because we're using the PS4 controller. Nothing too crazy. I think I can pause the game, maybe? Okay. Oh, so there is a high-speed mode, so maybe I will do that. So yeah, those are the cheats that you can activate. I think you just have to press the buttons in the pause menu. So battle assistance, I'm thinking is the help feature that was in the original. L2 basic makes you hit 9,999 every hit you do. So if you're having trouble with the fights, they can basically just be like, oh, one hit kill. Safe travel turns off the random encounters, which is, I guess, helpful when you're going back to previous areas. And high speed mode, which is pretty cool. I forgot there was high speed mode. I guess it's not in the. Is it in the phone version? I can't remember being in the phone version. But I might be taking use of that. Maybe. Definitely going to take use of that off screen if I have to level up. So we'll do that. Okay. Now we get to move around a little bit. You'll notice, it's hard to tell in this shot, but the updated textures are here. Obviously, our hero here looks a lot more updated than he did on the PS1, if you remember that. But you'll notice that the backdrop is a tad pixely, even though it's probably right now just because we're in the dark. So actually, if you come over here, you can actually get a couple of little things here before we get started. So there's a potion here, and I believe money here. Always good to get as many items as you can at any point in the playthrough. All right, we're going to light the candle. That's a Rent reference for those of you that maybe saw that thing back in the day. Okay, so this is a little different. In the original, this little screen here didn't pop up. It was the old school kind of setup, but they've added this. So this is a race-tailed human. I don't think that's what Zidane is. So he's a male. He's 16. His dominant hand is right, because you often have to know what a character's dominant hand is. You just something to think about. Anyway, his name is Zidane, or Zidane. I think it's Zidane. I've always joked at this because if anyone knows the one name that Zidane is related to, it's either the character from Final Fantasy IX or the guy that headbutted the other dude in the soccer match back at the World Cup back in, I think, many years ago. I can't remember. Just go back like 12 years or something like that. I think it was around there. With regards to characters' names, to keep it mostly the same, I'm going to change Zidane's name to mine because I'm egotistical and I like the main character to have my name. And I'll probably change one of the characters' name because I don't particularly like what they do with it. I'll explain more when we get there. It's hard to explain right now. I can't use Christopher because it only allows 8 characters. So if I was to put Christopher, it's only going to go up to P, so that would be Christop, and that is not a good name. So I have to, unfortunately, it sucks about all these old games. I can never use my full name. I have to always use Chris. So there we go. And confirm. Just remember, this is Zidane in case we go forward. But I'm going to leave all the other characters' names the same, just for clarity's sake, that we don't get confused. And moving on. It's me, Chris. Hey, Chris, you sure are late. Sorry. So where's the boss? Ain't here yet. And our first fight. Okay, so obviously this is just a tutorial fight. This isn't really anything to get crazy worried about. I don't think you can lose this fight. This is just a way to get you acclimated to the battle system now. Coming from... Thank you, game, for explaining it, but I'm just going to explain it anyway. Coming off of Final Fantasy 7 and 8, the party line was only 3 members. So we've gone back to 4, which is like the old school Final Fantasies had. Basically, this is just telling you what to do. They've changed it a little bit. The original command gauge was sort of just down. Now they've made it a little off, where you can... I think the defend command was over the attack command. So you have to keep hitting, otherwise he'll keep attacking you. I think you can change it in the menu to have it be a wait or active time battle. But the reason why this is the active time battle is because if you don't move and you just stand around, the enemy will keep hitting you. So you have to go very fast and make your commands. Now this is both a positive and a negative, because if you don't go fast enough, or sometimes it feels like you're going fast enough, but the game plays by its rules of whether or not an enemy will hit you, it can be a little cheap and annoying. And I will say this right now, that in some of these old school Final Fantasy games, it is annoying that enemies will just kill you just because they get first dibs. Which is why I liked Final Fantasy X, how basically they gave you the turn list on the side. And there we go, we won. I don't know if I stole anything. You can steal something from him, but it's nothing that you can't get later. Hey, fools. You're looking a lot better. Alright, let's start this meeting already. Yeah, some of the races are a tad weird in Final Fantasy IX. I don't exactly know what these characters are supposed to be since we only see like one version of them and not like a race of them. So, like, the guy here, the Baku, he looks like a bunny badger, but we never see anyone else like that, so it's weird. Here's the plan. Tantalus, the infamous band of daring thieves, that's us, is heading to the kingdom of Alexandria. Our mission? To kidnap the heir to the throne, Princess Garnet. Not to be confused with the Steven Universe character, although there are quite a few, I wouldn't say direct references, but there is something very similar between those two properties that you'll see. I'll take it from here, so listen up. Our ship's about to dock at Alexandria. And when it does, we're gonna put on our costumes. And perform I Wanna Be Your Canary, the most popular play in Alexandria. Break a leg, Marcus, because you're playing the lead. Leave the acting to me. Of course, the real kidnappers will be Blank and Chris. Everyone's just got a deep Italian voice, I'm sorry. I'll distract the audience from backstage with these little buggers. I can't stand obglops. But I'll manage, so don't worry about me. And that'll be your cue, Chris. Okay. And then, of course, natural selection. I think if you continuously press, that's when I kidnap Queen Braun. If you do it multiple times, another character pops their head in the door, but just to move through with the cutscene, we'd have to pick. That's when I kidnap Princess Garnet, right? You bet. You're gonna kidnap the most babelicious beauty in all of Alexandria, Princess Garnet. And of course, they give a little shout out to Hironobu Sakaguchi, the father of Final Fantasy, who I don't think was heavily involved with a lot of the games after this. He just usually gets the thanks credit. Also, really pixelated stuff. It happens a little bit when the camera's moving between the in-game engine. As you can see, Vivi here looks, oh, spoiler, I told you his name. He looks pretty HDified. Everyone else is kind of pixelated. But yeah, it all snaps in. Also, I'm probably going to repeat voices, so just heads up. Are you alright? Here, you dropped your ticket. Bye-bye. Alright, so we're playing as this little mage character, and, oops, the controls are a tad funky. Oh, hold on. Menu. As you can see, we don't have a name for this guy yet, but I already told you what his name was. And I gotta configure, so yeah, this is where you can turn on the effects, the cursor. This changes the battle system. Skip battle camera, movement, walk, run, field messages, I'm gonna put on fast. Battle speed, I'm going to leave it medium. I feel like when I put the battle speed on fast, I get screwed. Also, down at the bottom, there are other features at the bottom for booster effects. So let me see if I can get them. Yeah. Level and magic stone will put you at max. It'll master all abilities, puts everything on. And Gil maxes you out. Yeah, so we're not touching that crap at all. So I'm going to turn the vibration on. Ah, love it. Also, you can change the window color between the classic, old school stuff, and normal. But blue's a little bit jarring, so I'm going to leave it alone. Alright, this should fix... Ah, there we go. I forgot that happens if you go backwards. Why you get out of my way? That might be a little bit important later. So I'm actually going to double back here for a second because if you head into this first area over here, you'll notice, I believe there's some stuff here. Got a zombie card because, of course, there is a card game in Final Fantasy IX because, of course, there is. It's a JRPG from the 90s. Of course, there's a card game. There's something to do with that a little bit in a few minutes, but I'm probably going to skip it. There's a potion here. I think also in one of the back houses there is also, I believe, something back here. It might be right here. Lizard Man card. Yeah, so you can pick up some cards here. If you're big on the Tetramaster, that's the card game, it's helpful to go back and get those cards now because we will be involved in a sort of card battle in a little bit. But I'm mostly going to stick towards the story stuff right now. So let's head forward. Honorable Nobles of Torino, Castle Alexandria is this way. See, like, he's a duck, but we never see another duck like that again. There's a hippo over there. It's kind of weird. It's people, hippos, anthropomorphic animals. It's weird. Alright, this is a bar. We can go in there later. Let's talk to some people. Yeah, so you notice now if you go to people, and this is only in the, I guess, the HD version. By pressing square to some people, you can challenge them to card games, but not everyone can be challenged. So this kind of alleviates the guesswork. If you see an exclamation point and a card, it means that you can challenge them. But right now, we can't do that, so let's just talk. Wow, nobles are already, first mistake, 20 minutes in. Wow, nobles are so spiffy. I'll try to talk to people where I can. Be a little bit difficult. Wow, how'd you get a ticket for the show? You'd better head straight to the ticket booth in the square. Yeah, so that's where we're headed. You have to get your ticket stamped there before you can enter the castle. See, even a video game from the 90s knows how tickets work. Do you know how stupid people are that I think go to movie theaters and don't? I've seen it all the time when I go to movies. There's people that just skip the door guy and don't get their tickets ripped. They just walk through like nobody's business. Like, why would they have given you a ticket if you didn't have to get it ripped? It's so stupid. All right, so our goal is here, the ticket booth, but let's venture around a little bit. I want to stop over here for a second because this is one of the most annoyingest mini games in the entire friggin' I'd say the series at this point. So let's talk to this little girl. You want to try? All right, so you can jump rope, but it's not as easy as it looks. You have to only hit the button anytime the little exclamation point pops up. I'm going to try it one more time because I think I can get to 20. I think, if I remember how to do this correctly. Basically, if you keep paying attention to the exclamation point and just the exclamation point, you can pretty much get it. But, yeah, I got 10. That's not that bad. Yeah, I hate jump rope mini games. This one can... No, I don't want to try again. Oh, dang it. Fine, one more time. This and, like, the jump rope thing from Mario Odyssey, which I had to cheat to get because that was so annoying, too. Yeah, I don't want to be bothered with that. So we're just going to head around over here. So, yeah, there's another guy over here. I hid my 3 precious cards in a safe place. Don't necessarily know if they're around here, but again, it's just cards. Some nobles over here we can't talk to, and I believe we can go in some of the houses around here. Nobody will sell us anything right now. Married for 30 years, worked our rear ends off, and finally we can afford a ticket to the show. How expensive are these ticket prices? God. I'm so happy. Yes, you can't actually do anything right now or buy anything. I'm taking my wife to the theater tonight, so we shall close soon. Yeah, you can't buy anything right now, which kind of sucks. It's just sort of getting you used to walking around and talking to people. So let's head to the ticket booth. We'll not waste any more time. Peek into the ticket booth. And this is actually a really cool kind of exposition-y thing rather than just dropping expositional dialogue on us. It's kind of a nice way to get some details that we don't know yet. Can I help you, son? So you can show them the ticket, and that'll basically continue the plot. But you got 2 other options that will eventually lead to other questions. So let's do everything. What's showing today? This for year's performance is the masterpiece I Want to Be Your Canary. The Tantalus Company is performing. What kind of troupe is Tantalus? They're star performers from Lindblom, the Regency to the west, with accompaniment from something French. What's I Want to Be Your Canary about? The play is a tale of romance between a noble and a peasant. You really must see it. It's not really obvious right now, but the I Want to Be a Canary, and I think the guy who wrote the play, Lord Alvon, it's basically a giant William Shakespeare reference at some point. Tell me about Alexandria. The kingdom of Alexandria is a fine country ruled by Queen Braun. Who's Queen Braun? Did you know Queen Braun has a beautiful daughter, Princess Garnet? Who's Princess Garnet? Today is Princess Garnet's 16th birthday, you know? Tell me about Queen Braun. Unfortunately, I've heard strange things about Queen Braun recently. Tell me about Princess Garnet. Her Highness is a beautiful princess, and everyone in Alexandria loves her. Is Princess Garnet really that pretty? Why, she's the most beautiful princess in the history of Alexandria. Alright, so that's all you get. It doesn't really help, but it basically gives you a little bit more backstory into, I guess, who the 2 characters are that we'll be seeing a little later. So let's show them the ticket. What's this? There's something odd about this ticket. Why, it's another fake. I've seen so many today. No! Now, don't cry. I know how you must feel. Here, I'll give you these. Do try to cheer up now, Goblin card, Fang card, Skeleton card. Why are you giving me cards? I don't want to play the damn card game. The card game is crap. I'd rather you just demean me that my ticket's fake. You gotta talk to Alleyway Jack to learn more about cars. Good luck, lad. Alright, so there's nothing more we can do now. So, we have to head down the alleyway. Not to meet Alleyway Jack, but just to continue the plot. Okay, so if we came down here before, this wouldn't have happened. Blast it! Hey, you made me miss you, little klutz. Phew, that should do it. Well, it's been a long day. I'll just walk down here and leave my ladder, as I often do. And here we got the rat kid. Hey, you shrimp. You're the one with the phony ticket, ain't you? I saw the guy tell you it was fake. If you say, are you Alleyway Jack, he says, no, I'm not that low life, or something like that. If you're right, no, it's not fake, he goes, why are you lying to me? So just for the sake of moving a plot. Yeah, it's fake. I'll let you see the show if you become my slave. Well, what do you say? Well, you have no choice. Alright. Awesome. Now for your first assignment. You go stand over there and see if anyone's coming. And you just move back and forth. You can tell him that I think someone's coming. It just annoys him, that's all it is. All clear? Yeah, it's clear. Awesome. Engage according to mission parameters. And I guess he just needed the ladder. Yeah, so that's Alleyway Jack. If you talk to him, he'll show you the card game. If you go too close to him, he robs you. Also, yes, he has 4 hands. I'm not going to talk to him because I don't really want to deal with the card game. Over here. Don't fall behind. Into the steeple. And I got somehow stuck. I don't know how that happened, but I kind of got a little wonky there with the controller. Now, we're going to climb up this tower. It's very dangerous. You go first. Move it, slave. Hey, watch with that word. That's not nice. I think also if you come over one of the grass packs. Yep, this is it. Tent. Love a good tent. All right, let's climb up this ladder. Ow! Ah! What the heck was that? Sorry about that, Koopo. That's Koopo. He's a Moogle. Koopo. And this is slave number 1. Try to get along, okay? Koopo, pleased to meet you. I'm sorry, I enter you in Moogle Diary. If you want to save game, just ask us Moogles, Koopo. And you can regain health if you have a tent, Koopo, which you just found in that bush, so that's helpful. You understand? I understand. Glad I can help, Koopo. Alright, time for some upward mobility. Thank God there's not a lot of Moogles that I have to speak for in the game, otherwise that voice is going to get really annoying. Sorry, I was trying to give him like a squeaky voice. I'm trying to do the voice from Mog from Final Fantasy 13 too, but that voice is so annoying. Okay, come up, slave. Koopo, you here? Koopo, Stillskin, why that getup? You're leaving, Koopo? Yeah, and this time I might be away for a long time. I'll miss you, Koopo. Now, don't you worry. I'll write. It'll be a very pointless side minigame that the player will have to do to mail all our letters, but it'll have a good reward at the end. Okay, Koopo. Well, I'm off. Take care. Oh, and say hi to Marsh in the castle for me. Was that a friend of yours? Yes, Koopo. A very special one, Koopo. Hey, slave, I thought I ordered you up here. Alright, so you can save the game now if you want, but I'm actually I will save the game now because we are going to call it in about a minute from where I... Time to make a record already, Koopo? Yeah, so Magnet is the mail service. Koopo, I'll tell you about Magnet. Magnet is a mail delivery system between Moogles. We can send mail and receive letters to and from Moogles in other locations, Koopo. But delivery has been very sporadic lately, so I want you to help us deliver mail, Koopo. Will you help us? Sure. I have a favor to ask, Koopo. I want you to deliver a letter to Monty. Okay. Thanks, Koopo. So basically, you'll talk to each Moogle, and basically each get a letter from them. And so it's pretty linear in the way you go. Every save point you come to, which is the Moogles, you just got to talk to them, and they'll give you a letter for the next thing. So let us climb up the ladder. Love pre-rendered backgrounds, by the way. Now, I think later on in the game, you can ring the bell here, but you can't do that right now. You'll notice there's a little cord on the side there. Alright, the play's gonna start if we don't hurry. Come on, get over here. Let me guess, you're afraid of heights, aren't you? It's okay, just pretend you're on the ground. Come on already, we're running out of time. Hey, just rickety bridge, it's easy. Not again. Don't worry, it won't fall. I guess it fell. No point in worrying now, right? Alright, so we can follow the kid. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. I don't even know your name. So yeah, this is Vivi, and I thought he was 8. Appears to be 9. Okay, his dominant hand is also right. It tends to be a dominant trait. I'm gonna leave Vivi alone. So your name's Vivi, huh? Kind of funny name. My name's Puck. Pleased to meet ya. Alright, so Puck's gonna run up ahead. Thank God I don't have to talk about Puck for very long because it will say like I'm saying a very bad word if I continue to talk fast like that. Also, if you come over here and go into the chimney, 92 gil. It's raining gil. Love the fake money in the Final Fantasy universe. It's always gil. I think Potch was my favorite. Potch was from Suikoden, I think. Alright, and I think this is going to be a little hard because I'm recording this off the PS4's internal recording system. So I'm going to try to pause the game, hopefully in the cutscene, and I'll try to resume the recording. So let's trigger the cutscene, and we're going to call it quits here after the final dialogue here. Phew! We finally made it. And this is all I needed the ladder for, just to cross the damn freaking gap. After this wall, we'll be inside the castle. Come on, let's go. And I think... Okay, I can't pause. Okay, so I'm going to call it quits here. When we pick up, it'll be a FMV. Should I do? Actually, you know, yeah, I'm going to let the FMV play first. So on the next episode, before I say hello to you good people, it'll be an FMV, and then I will say hello to you when we get in control of our next group of characters. It's a little hard right now because the game's kind of jumping around. I don't want this to go on forever. I could keep going, but this is about a half hour, and I want to keep these things mostly at the 30-minute mark, mainly because I'm using the interior recording from the PlayStation, and I have to transfer to USB and then back to my computer, and I don't want it to take that very long, so half-hour episodes should be golden. So thank you guys for watching. I'm really excited to be doing this Final Fantasy IX playthrough, and I hope to see you guys on the next part. Thanks for watching.